Frankie Byers, Om Shanti Om. It's a really great driving song, especially when you're in New Jersey traffic. It's kind of like makes you happy. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Morristown. I'm Frankie Timbers. I'm the spiritual director here, and I'm so blessed to be here today with Lauren Carlson, who is our practitioner, assisting practitioner. She has a little treat in store for you with a spiritual practice. The theme for this month is Pieces into Peace. And today the topic is You're Never Alone. So those of you that are joining us online, we're so glad you're with us, whether it's in this live moment or anytime in the future. But those of you that are here in person, it's always a different feeling, and I'm so glad you're here. We are a part of an organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. We're one of about 400 plus communities, and I'm glad we're still here because we have a history of almost 70 years. And as most of you know, there's been ups and downs, but we're still here, and we're still a spiritual community, creating a space for you to come together, because to me, there's nothing like spiritual community coming together with those of like mind. And to me, there's nothing like the Science of Mind teaching, believe me, I tried many, that really helps us be uplifted and allows us to realize that we are instruments of divine peace, especially as we explore the idea of peace this month. So I'm going to talk about this topic of loneliness, which I don't know anybody who has never experienced loneliness. Anybody here never experienced loneliness? So maybe it's part of our spiritual evolution. We're going to explore that today. We have a website, check that out, because there's lots happening, and those of you that are here, we still have paper, flyers of events coming up. They're all over there, and if you are on our email list, you get them every week. So if you're not getting them every week, it means you're not on the list. So let us know if you'd like to be on the list. There's a sign up here, or just tell me. What I want you to know the most is that next Sunday, I cannot believe it crept up on us, Kat. We have another sound bath with Kat Roman. We've had about 4 or 5 of them. That means this space is going to be empty. It's going to have yoga mats and blankets and pillows, and we're all going to take a nap. You'll probably fall asleep as Kat brings her wonderful sound bath to us, which is not only very restful and deep, but it's healing and beautiful. We have a limited amount of spots, as you can imagine, so you do need to sign up for it on the website. So check out the Breeze link, check out the website. If you need help with that, let me know, because those of you that do not use the website can just work it out with me, okay? So we start with our Namaste practice. Namaste is the Sanskrit word for the divinity in me, blesses the divinity in you. And because you're doing it to somebody else, that means you're not just giving, you're also receiving. So put your hands together and say, Namaste. 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 And let's treat, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes just so your attention can move from the outer to the inner, from the world of effect, condition, circumstance, to the world of cause and truth, and maybe a moment of peace and silence. So as we do this, we simply dwell in a place of remembrance, that which we have always known since the beginning of time, yet often forget that each of us is imbued with the presence of divine grace, divine love, divine wisdom, whatever it is that we need, really. Because the essence of truth is ever within us, and it can ever be accessed. So it is through prayer, meditation, spiritual practices, or being in nature, or looking in the eyes of a beloved person or pet, that we remember that there's so much more happening that we cannot quite see with our physical eye. And so we turn within with our spiritual eye and we allow ourselves to remember that inherent wisdom, which is our birthright. And then we bring it to life through our day-to-day practices, knowing that we always have an opportunity to tumble and fall, and that the tumble and fall is really just a place of remembrance. It's a portal to our awakening, to discovering the very truth of our being and give it expression. And so today we're grateful to remember that we are never, ever alone. For even when we feel that way in the world, it is simply the divine's invitation within us to come closer, to remember, to surrender to the truth already within, and to know that there we are infinitely loved. So today we express that by means of our gratitude. Gratitude for this spiritual community, for this teaching, for each other, and for knowing that we are deeply loved. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Oh, silly notes. So, as I asked before, anybody ever felt lonely? Most of us, right? When have you felt your loneliest? What was happening when you felt your loneliest?
Somebody died.
Somebody died, yeah.
In the depths of addiction.
In the depths of addiction.
When I thought no one felt like I do.
When I thought nobody felt like I do.
Life's pressures.
Life's pressures. You know, I was born and raised in a family of 9 children, and I don't think I ever felt that lonely as being in a family of 9 children. Isn't it interesting that sometimes we feel more lonely when we're around people than when we're alone?
Yeah.
I have to say, the most lonely I ever felt was in a relationship that wasn't working. And it helped me decide to leave that relationship, realizing that being single, being alone, would be less lonely than staying in a relationship. So it's very interesting when we begin to think about this thing we call loneliness. And on the spiritual path, it's really important to bring that into the fold of our experience, because it really is an invitation to look a little bit deeper, to heal some of the things that made us feel separate. Because if you think about it, the essence of loneliness is a sense of separation. And so the invitation is there to feel a deeper sense of oneness within our own hearts, within our own minds. So the spiritual path then is really a spiritual journey of making peace with the places inside of us where we feel a disconnect. Whether that shows up as loneliness or anger or grief or frustration or judgment or whatever it may be, wherever we experience a challenge, it is not a burden placed upon us as a punishment, as some of us were raised to believe. Holy mackerel, what a silly thing to believe, right? But it's an invitation to think more clearly, to see things more clearly, and to maybe make peace with the places where we feel a disconnect. So it's really about transforming this idea of loneliness into aloneness, which is very different, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It is in cherishing our solitude that we can make that transformation. So I have a favorite TV show. Well, I have a few favorite TV shows. But one of my favorite shows just finished season 11. I've watched all the seasons. Is on the History Channel, and it's called Alone. Does anybody know that show? It's my favorite. Did you watch the last season?
No.
It's amazing.
Most of it, yes.
The last season is amazing. The way it works is that it's a very long interview process, but they pick about 10 people, 10 to a dozen, that are survivalists. They are experts at bushcraft. And they are placed somewhere on the planet that is very remote with 10 items they can bring plus clothes. And they have to survive, and the person that stays in the longest wins the prize, which is, anywhere between, I don't know, $250,000 to $1 million, somewhere in there. Now they have Alone Australia, so it's like, and I recently heard there's an Alone Netherlands. Netherlands is the size of New Jersey. Like, what? Where did they put it? I'm going to check that out. Twice New Jersey. So, it's very intense. So the last one is north of the Arctic Circle.
Oh my God.
There's nothing there. Nothing. And there are bears and martens and what's the other crazy animal? Wolverines and moose. One guy kills a moose, butchers the moose, lives off the moose, saves his antlers and his coat. It is fascinating. There are certain animals that they're not allowed to hunt because they are endangered species. Yes, thank you. So it's so fascinating to me because I'm very fascinated with how human beings experience life. And what I love about this show is that they are all very comfortable being alone. But there comes a moment in the show where they realize they cannot be alone, that they need other human beings. And so there's this one guy, Dub, who is very much a loner. He was bullied, he was thrilled to be alone, he loved to be alone, and he was always fine being alone, and he really discovered that he can't be alone, that he needs his family. So there's a very powerful healing process that happens. It's kind of like therapy on steroids because they're by themselves. They do have cameras. That's why it's a show we can watch on TV. There's more to it, but I don't want to spend half hour explaining the show. Just check it out. So if you go to the History app, all 11 seasons are there. Plus there's a fabulous podcast. Anyway, so there's this whole process that people go through where they realize what's really happening is they're confronted with their own mind. They're confronted with their own heart. They're confronted with their own issues, their own challenges, their own wounds, their own brokenness, which we've been talking about this month. And so it revealed that we really are social beings. And isn't it interesting that what the COVID pandemic revealed, that in our culture there actually is a loneliness epidemic. A loneliness epidemic. It didn't just show up during COVID. It was revealed. And we know some of the reasons why this is happening. I think the main reason is the information age and that we think we have a relationship with our smartphones in different ways, right? But it really is as an epidemic, but in metaphysics, which is what we are, we're a metaphysical teaching, we look beyond the physical and we say, what's really happening here? And we always relate it to the spiritual truth. And what we find, and I know there's a lot of research about the loneliness epidemic, but when we look at it from a spiritual point of view, what we find is that in truth, we're alone. And yes, we come across family and friends, but we are born alone and we die alone. And that there's this experience of being alone in some way, shape, and form that is a very deep, powerful, profound spiritual experience that we get to make peace with. And so what it revealed in truth is that we've lost a spiritual connection. In truth, you and I cannot lose a spiritual connection because it's unseverable. It's who we are. It's who we have always been. It's who and what we will always be. But we come to believe there is a disconnect, whether it's conscious or not, whether it's because of a certain experience or not. We come to believe there is a disconnect in our connection with the divine. And what we're witnessing on the planet now, and we can kind of trace all issues that are happening in the world back to this, which is a loss of the sense of the sacred. Life is sacred. All life is sacred. And when we forget that, and we begin to treat certain things, people, places as not sacred, we experience a disconnect, we experience a loss, and we begin to suffer. And so being on a spiritual path, what's so important is for us to do whatever it is that we need to do to feel that connection and to live from that connection and to notice when that connection seems severed, that there's some inner work to do. Some spiritual practices, maybe make some changes in our lives, right? Because we're always guided from within. All knowledge and wisdom is already within us. So what we discover then is that on a planet with 8.2 billion people, I'm sure we've added a few since I did the research on that one, is that we are really never alone. How is that possible? And that's the place that I arrived at on my spiritual path, where I don't know anymore what loneliness is like or what it feels like. Some of my friends say, well, it's easy for you to say you're in a relationship. No, it's not about being in a relationship. It's about that really deepest knowing that there's something within us that is so generous, so giving, so powerful, so unconditionally loving that it's already ours to experience and to live. So what we discover then is that loneliness is just a feeling. And that whatever comes first, the thought or the feeling, there have been arguments about that. It's like the chicken and the egg, right? It doesn't really matter. Because it's the thought plus the feeling that creates the belief. So we come to have these beliefs that say, I'm disconnected, I'm separate, I'm not enough, I don't have enough, I don't do enough, etc., etc., etc. And those get to be made conscious so that we can work them through within our consciousness with our spiritual practices. So in truth then, there's room for all of us to experience a deeper sense of wholeness, which is the inherent truth. A deeper sense of healing. Healing and wholeness has the same root etymologically. And so, what if an experience of loss, lack, limitation, loneliness is simply a portal to healing? It carries the promise of the sacred, of fulfillment, of a sense of wholeness, of an awakening, that we are here to reveal our connection with the One, which is so unique for each and every one of us, so no one can tell us what it's like. We have to find out for ourselves. That's where our spiritual practices come in. So we just finished a 6-week program called The Spirituality of Aging, and it's based on a book by Kathleen Dowling Singh, who's one of my favorite authors. She also wrote The Grace in Dying, The Grace in Living, and Unbinding. But in The Grace of Aging, she clarifies very beautifully and simply the difference between loneliness and aloneness. And she invites us to heal and transform loneliness into aloneness, and how aloneness gives us a deeper connection to solitude, which is something that all of us need so that we can come to know who we are, what we're doing, why we're here, and what is ours to do as an individualized expression of spirit. The really cool thing that really clicked for me was that she says loneliness looks through a lens of insufficiency. Loneliness looks through a lens of insufficiency and deficiency. Loneliness looks through the lens of pain and loss and fear and anxiety. And it's about the belief in absence, that something is missing, that we need something from the world outside of us to feel more connected. And you all know that never really works, right? And we're not always conscious of it. So aloneness looks through a different lens. Aloneness looks through the lens of sufficiency. It looks through the lens of wholeness, inherent wholeness. And it looks through the lens of fullness, which moves us into a place of opening our heart and experiencing gratitude. Aloneness has a richness to it, not the scarcity of loneliness, that allows us to want to retreat. Anybody here ever do a retreat? Right? Sometimes it's a half a day, or a week, or an hour, or a month, or whatever it is. I love retreats. I love solitude. And for some of us, it's just a walk in the woods, or a day at home when your beloved is out for the day, or a day of just not having anything on your plate, having no plans, right? Where we then begin to savor solitude from a place of fullness instead of, oh, I gotta go do something, stay busy, right? And so both of them are states of mind. Loneliness and aloneness are both states of mind with a different perspective, through a different lens. And the whole idea of the spiritual journey is to make peace with the one that doesn't serve us, or the one that burdens us or causes us to suffer, so that we can slip into the one that creates a different kind of fullness, a different kind of richness, which is that's what healing is. It's a remembrance that we are whole. And so it's back to the main principle of metaphysics, which is, how many lives are there?
One.
There's only one life. Right? So when we forget there is only one life, we think there's this, and that, and it's often an either or instead of a both and. But we arrive at that place of a lived sense of oneness. We talk about oneness a lot. We use the word oneness in our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayers, a lot. I mean, it's the second step of spiritual mind treatment, our process of prayer. But we don't always feel it. And so the idea is when we don't feel it, the invitation is to feel it, to think it, to believe it, and then to live it and express it. So you might notice when you watch the news where you see a sense of separation and division. We don't know what that is because we're all we're so enlightened we don't really think that way. But when it does happen, we are invited to spiritual practice. We're literally invited to spiritual practice of knowing that there's only oneness. And what is mine to give, to live, to contribute as being unified within my own consciousness. And how can I express that? That requires a little bit of listening, a little bit of inner guidance, because there's always room to see from a place of oneness. And that's a responsibility we have if we say we're on a spiritual path, right? And so I love the Science of Mind magazine this month. There's a wonderful article by Joanne McFadden, who's the spiritual director of Center for Spiritual Living Albany, where I used to hang out 32 years ago. And she has an article called Let Peace Well Up and Flow, and she says this: coming together, uniting the pieces, brings peace. Holmes wrote in Your Invisible Power, which is one of his first beautiful writings, peace stands at the door of your consciousness and awaits your acceptance of it. Mm-hmm. Let me say that again. Peace stands at the door of your consciousness and awaits your acceptance of it. However, it does not stand outside your door waiting for entrance, so much as it stands inside, waiting to be expressed in everything you do. She goes on, when we recognize that the tendency of life, the natural order of things is unity, we can start with ourselves to bring that truth into expression. This is an inside job involving nothing outside of ourselves, always by reconciling the pieces, we find peace. The process begins by loving the self, small s, into the self, capital S, bringing these seemingly opposite parts of ourselves into unity. When we love all of ourselves, we connect to the spirit within us, embracing the peace that we are, and then we go forth to express it. I want to read just one more paragraph. There's the calling, the sacred call to heal ourselves and the world. I believe that since humankind appeared on earth, the great invitation has been to shift the collective belief system of the masses from one of separation from our source and all other forms of life to one of unity, by realizing and embodying our oneness with spirit. Yes, it's a tall order, but that's what our spiritual path calls us to do. According to Holmes, this is essential to finding peace within ourselves. In the Science of Mind textbook, he wrote, until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. So what do we do then? Thank goodness, a few very simple practices. They might not be easy for you, but they're very simple practices. Just sit and be still. Isn't it interesting how hard that is for many people? Just sit and be still. Connect with your breath. Once you connect with your breath, you will automatically connect to your heart. And once you connect to your heart, you will hear the voice of truth. It won't be literal. I know some of you want that. But it will be a deeper knowing about who you are and why you're here. And then we speak to peace within because it's a guide. It's your guru, your inner teacher. It's your best friend. It has a voice. It has wisdom. It informs us. It guides us as long as we listen. And then we just spend time there. I read a quote this morning by St. Francis that I never heard. So simple that it almost made me go, before you speak of peace, you must first have it in your own heart. Before you speak of peace, and don't we all want peace in the world? Before we speak of it, we must find it in our own heart. And the good news is, your heart will speak to you. The peace in your heart will speak to you and guide you. But see, what happens sometimes, it's so freaking simple that we dismiss it. But when we really, really listen, we realize that this voice of peace is already within us, always has been, always will be. It's just waiting for our attention. And so that is where we find out that we are never, ever, ever alone. And when and if you feel alone, there's a lot of support. 1, 2, 3. Practitioners, ministers all over the world, thousands that are here to listen and to support you and remind you of the beauty of you as the fullness of you. So Laurie, after our music by Karen Drucker, is going to guide us through a practice and with some poetry and allowing you to have that experience of remembering that you're never alone. So let's have some music.
alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. Felt so lost, couldn't find my way, searching for an answer, how to make it through the day. Called out for help and felt something shift inside, a presence, a power that cannot be denied. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. I don't walk alone. No matter what I call it, no matter what I believe, I know that when I'm hurting, if I ask, I will receive. The love that I am needing, the peace within my soul. I can surrender and let go. I don't walk alone. Walk. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. Grace. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Walk. Spirit is with me always. Grace fills me now. Grace. I don't walk alone. I don't walk alone. Never alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. Never alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. Never alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. Spirit is with me. I am never, ever alone. Never alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. Spirit is with me. I am never, ever alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. Spirit is with me. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. Never alone. I am never, ever alone. Never ever ever alone. Never ever ever alone. No. Never ever ever alone. No. Never ever ever alone. Never ever ever alone. Never ever ever alone. Never ever ever alone.
I'm never, ever, ever alone. Good morning, everyone. So, I'm always going to share a poem with you. This is not an original poem, but I decided that the meditation should come first. As just after Reverend Frankie's talk and everything, I've decided the poem is called Solitude Serenity, and it's by an unknown author. But I think first we will come in, do the practice, because yesterday I had the great opportunity to go to a drum circle. And then it was followed by a Native American song circle where there was a drum beating as they chanted prayers. And it just really reminded me of the oneness of all life, that all paths lead to the same place, and that the heartbeat, that drum beat, is such a perfect example of how we are never truly alone, because spirit beats our hearts, right? We are one with the beat of spirit that is ever present within us. And we are able to remember that at every moment. But we're going to do a little practice that will show us what it's like to not feel that, unfortunately, but don't worry, I'm not going to leave you there. And then we're going to come into a feeling of recognizing that. And Reverend Frankie is going to accompany us with a drum beat on the second half of the meditation. So I invite you, if you are comfortable to do so, to just close your eyes. And this is a little interactive. On everyone's seat, there's a little paper that has 3 lines that we're going to make a mantra. That this is to take home. You'll hear me say it so you can repeat it with me. You don't need to read it and keep your eyes open. But you will have it to take home with you to make part of your spiritual practice, I hope. So, but for right now, just simply close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And we are just going to take a few deep breaths to come into this present moment. We're going to breathe into our belly. So on the inhale, feel your belly expand. And on the exhale, feel your belly release. On the inhale, feel your belly expand. And on the exhale, feel your belly release. And breathing like this just helps bring you into this present moment, right here, right now. Just take a few breaths here, connecting with your belly. If your other hand is over your heart, you should be able to feel your heartbeat. And now, we're going to journey elsewhere from this place right here. So I invite you to bring into mind, to bring into your body, to bring into your whole experience a memory of a time when you felt lonely. If you're Reverend Frankie, you may have to go all the way back to your childhood. But for anyone, whatever it is, it could be recent, it could be in your distant past, but bring into memory a feeling of when you were really lonely, when you felt separate, disconnected, when you couldn't remember that you are one with Spirit. Try to remember it in great detail. Maybe where you were, maybe what you were wearing. Just really place yourself there until you can really feel it. Now I invite you to notice, how does your belly feel in that place of loneliness? Is it maybe rumbling a little or a little uncomfortable? How does your heart feel? Is it a little more rapid? Is your breathing a little more shallow? A little more jagged? Just pay attention to how your body feels when you're in this place of loneliness and separation. For me, my skin gets a little clammy. I notice my belly constrict. I notice the feeling of anxiety. Just really pay attention to what it feels like. And now, we are going to bring into awareness the spiritual truth that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. I am never truly alone as as I am one with Spirit. Spirit is as close to me as the beat of my heart. Spirit is what beats my heart. Take a breath into that knowing. Breathe deep into your belly, and on the exhale, allow it to flow into every aspect of your being. Breathing in this oneness with Spirit, and exhaling it until it surrounds you and fills you, so that your entire body is glowing with this awareness with Spirit. Now pay attention to the hand that is over your heart. Do you feel that heartbeat? Like the rhythm of the drum. Spirit is what beats your heart. And as you are ever with Spirit, you have a constant reminder. Anytime you become aware of your heartbeat, it can remind you that you are never truly alone as you are one with Spirit. Spirit is as close to you as your heartbeat. Spirit is what beats your heart. Breathing in, filling up with this oneness, really connecting with that heartbeat, feeling it as the oneness of Spirit. Breathing deep into your belly. And just really being present in this knowing, in this truth. I am never truly alone as I am one with Spirit. Spirit is as close to me as the beat of my heart. Spirit is what beats my heart. And now from this place, become aware of how your body feels now. How does your body feel in this place of oneness with Spirit? Do you feel calmer? Does your body feel more relaxed? Do you feel a sense of safety? I know we've been breathing into our bellies, but is your breathing deeper and slower as you relax into knowing this truth? Is the beat of your heart slower and deeper as it expresses to you your oneness with Spirit? Just become aware of all the sensations of this place, this consciousness of oneness. Notice how the chatter in your mind has lessened a little. Really focus on all the feelings, how your skin feels, how your breath feels, how your heart space feels, to really anchor it into your consciousness so that you can remember that you can come back here at any moment. All you need to do is place a hand on your heart, feel your heartbeat, and remember the truth that you are never alone. You are always one with Spirit. Spirit is as close as the beat of your heart. Spirit is what beats your heart. So this is a practice you can do anytime, anywhere, just with a simple hand over the heart and a few breaths. And perhaps repeat the mantra to yourself. This is something you can do throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your life. And if that doesn't work, you can reach out to someone in this community, reach out to a practitioner, reach out to your community, and recognize that they are one with Spirit and they see the Spirit in you, like our Namaste practice, right? So allow yourself to be seen. Allow the beat of your heart to connect you with Spirit, and enjoy the fact that that helps move you from loneliness to aloneness into a solitude in which you can find grace and peace and joy and truth. And so, from that little space, I'm going to share a poem with you. I wish it was mine. It sounds like it could be one of mine, but it's not. I found it, and it's by an unknown author, and it's called Solitude's Serenity. In solitude, I find my inner peace, a quiet refuge where my soul's release. Amidst the silence, I discover me. Embracing solitude, I'm truly free. The world outside may buzz with ceaseless sound, but in this stillness, clarity is found. No need for pretense, masks, or worldly roles. In solitude, I listen to my soul's goals. Alone, I'm not lonely. I'm in good company. With thoughts and dreams, a world inside of me. I delve into the depths of who I am, unraveling mysteries like a patient lamb. I savor moments, each one a precious gem. In solitude, I find my inner stem. I love that. A chance to grow, to learn, to simply be, to contemplate the vastness of the sea. No need for chatter, no need for distraction. In solitude, I find sweet satisfaction. A canvas for my thoughts, emotions, dreams. In solitude, life's deeper meaning gleams. So let me be alone, for I am not alone. With nature's beauty, wisdom I am shown. In solitude's embrace, I am reborn. A soul at peace, no longer torn. Yeah, I kind of feel like I could have wrote that. I wish I had. Anyway, it's a beautiful poem. I hope you enjoyed it. And so from this place of oneness, from this place of recognizing that we are never alone, but we get to be here in community, right? This is such a joy and a privilege that we get to be a part of this spiritual community. So this is our time to support our community. This is our time for our conscious giving, for our time of law of circulation, for giving and receiving. And so there are many ways here to give. I'm going to pass the basket. If you want to take an envelope and just continue passing the basket, or you can just you can also text to give. You can use our PayPal or Venmo codes, which are up here on the wall. There is a place on our website that says donate. That's what I do. It's easy to do. So there are lots of ways to give. You can also give by sponsoring a social hour. You can give by bringing a friend or someone who hasn't been here before to service and helping grow our community. You can volunteer to help Reverend Frankie clean the center. She just said we need some people to deep clean this place, so you can volunteer. There are lots of opportunities. But whatever you do, give from that abundant heart that is filled up by this center. Right? We give where we are spiritually fed, and this is where we are spiritually fed. So we invite you to give from that heart of abundance. So I invite you to repeat this. I'm going to do my own. I repeat this affirmation with me, after me. Today I give this gift.
Today I give this gift
From a place of oneness and abundance.
from a place of oneness and abundance.
The beat of my heart
The beat of my heart
beats even stronger
beats even stronger
here in this community.
here in this community.
And so I give with joy
And so I give with joy
to that place that feeds my spirit.
to that place that feeds my spirit.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Do we have any announcements? No? Okay, so closing treatment?
Yeah?
Okay, so, the announcement is there will be Treatment Express. You know I never miss a chance to do Treatment Express. So after service, I will be up here. If you would like a quickie treatment, please come up, and I would be happy to treat for you. Also, did you announce Reverend Janice's class?
No, you can go ahead and chat.
Okay, so yeah, because I'm doing it, so that's why I remembered. So this Reverend Janice starts a class on October 9th that is once a month for 6 months, called Using Life's Changes for Spiritual Awakening. And she is always amazing. I really recommend you take the class. I have taken her classes in the past, and I'm looking forward to this one. So that's the one that I realized you didn't announce. So okay, with that, I invite you once again to close your eyes. I'm going to lead us in a spiritual mind treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer, which means that we're not begging and beseeching to a God outside of ourselves, but we are recognizing what we have been hearing through this whole celebration, that we are one with Spirit, that Spirit is within us, ever present. And so, right here, right now, I acknowledge this truth. I acknowledge the one power, the one life, the one divine creative energy that is ever present, that exists in, as, and through my very being, as it does in each one here, and each one listening, and each one on the planet. We are all just unique expressions of this one divine love. And as such, we have access to that knowing at every moment, with every beat of our heart, with every breath we take. We can come into alignment with this truth. And so right here, right now, I affirm for each one that we do just that we open ourselves to receive the blessings of Spirit, the blessings of the universe, the good that is inherently ours, that we feel our oneness with Spirit with each beat of our heart, and that we move from any sense of loneliness into aloneness, into solitude, and into oneness with Source. We stay on that spiritual journey that brings us to remember that we are never alone, because we are one with Spirit. And I know for each one listening, each one here, that demonstrates in your experience. And so, as we are all one, as there is only one life, as there is only one mind, I simply let this go out into that creative law that does unto us as we believe, knowing it cannot come back to me void. And so I just simply, with deep gratitude and grace, lovingly, joyfully, and expectantly let it go. And I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is.